30-day film challenge, day 17. My favourite animated movie. What could it be? Let's find out. Hello everyone and welcome back to the 30-day film challenge. Yes, day 17 we're at. We're getting through them. About 13 left, plus that extra one that I'm throwing in just to make it 31 days, just to be that little bit extra. So, my favourite animated movie. There's been so many animated movies over time that you know I love, I adore. Things like Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, which I would cite as my favourite Disney animated movie, The Iron Giant, Star Chaser, The Legend of Orin, Transformers the movie from 1985, was it? 1986? There's quite a fair few. But I land on only one. And I don't have to go back too far, only 5 years. And the film that I pick as my favourite animated movie of all time, surpassing everything else, is Into the Spider-Verse. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Yes, from Lord and Miller. What can I say about this film? I saw this film at the cinema when it came out. I went with my son, the youngest of the two. We saw both this and Bumblebee on exactly the same day. Ironically, both starring Hailee Steinfeld. Obviously, she was the main human protagonist of Bumblebee, and she voices Gwen Stacy in this here Spider-Man film. Not only that, if you take a look at this year, we had sequels to both come out only a month apart. No, only 2 weeks apart, sorry, not even a month. So, yeah, both of them 5 years later on almost the same week. But anyway, so why Spider-Man? Why Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse? So, I've read comics for decades and decades and decades since I was knee-high to a grasshopper. I used to get my dad to take me up to the Forbidden Planet in London, where I could spend some hard-earned pocket money on some comic books. Anyway, so in the early 2000s, we had the Ultimate Spider-Man come about. The Ultimate Spider-Man comic book, which was a line from Marvel that kind of reset and restarted characters like Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, the X-Men, etc., etc., for a new audience. Sort of bringing them into the modern world and starting them again now. And Ultimate Spider-Man was one of them. Now, so far into the run of this, writer Brian Michael Bendis done a storyline where he killed Peter Parker. He did. And we had a Peter Parker replacement in the form of Miles Morales, the new Spider-Man. You know, cynically at the time, everyone was a little bit up in arms about it. But here we were given a new Spider-Man. It wasn't just a race change of a character. It was a new character. It didn't feel like it was done as a sort of a tick box exercise or anything like that. We were treated to a character, Miles Morales, who was completely different than Peter Parker. He was way younger. And he was a compelling character. He was a compellingly written character. Then in 2018, we got this film here, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and Miles Morales was the centre focus of this film. And this film just goes to show what a wonderful character Miles Morales actually is. The film itself, I think, is wonderful. What they've done with the art styles within it, the convergence of several different art styles, it's fantastic. It really came together, and we get to see all these characters from the riches of the Spider-Man comic world. Things like Spider-Man Noir, not voiced by Nick Cage. We had Spider-Ham, who was always a jokey character that had come from the comics. Obviously, we had Peter Parker, Miles Morales, and we were introduced to Peter B. Parker, voiced by Jake Johnson, who was one of the main stars of the sitcom New Girl with Zooey Deschanel. And there's not been no bones about it. He is probably one of the best Peter Parkers. He embodies everything that is Peter Parker, this guy does. I know he's a little bit old for it, but as a voice actor doing it, he embodies everything that is right for the character of Peter Parker, even Peter B. Parker. Yes, we had Spider-Gwen introduced to us, who was an alternate reality Spider-Man. And this is the film that's opened the door. This is the film that opened the door to the multiverse that we have in all these different films now. This was the first one that done it. Don't forget that. It was this that led to, if it wasn't for this film, they would never have considered doing Spider-Man No Way Home with bringing together of the 3 live-action Spider-Men. Now, when you compare this movie to the 3 live-action Spider-Men, I will go as far as to say this is a far superior movie than what any of those are. It's far better written. It's got the characters 100% down. It knows its characters. It knows what it wants to do with them, and it's and this isn't this isn't written like an animated film. This is written like a live action movie. When you watch this film, you just watch, you're getting more out of these animated characters than what you would out of live action characters, and it turns them into real people. They are real people in it, in a sense, in you know, their nuances and their facial expressions and the little things they do, things that are normally left out of animated characters. I will go far, you know, I will say, if you get what I'm saying, there's so much put into the characters in these films, or in this film, that it comes across like a live action movie, or that you could adapt this as it is. You could shoot this shot for shot as a live action movie, with the exception of some of the comedic elements. I'm talking about Peter Parker, where she's being pulled through, unconscious, pulled through the streets on the thing and hitting into buses and things like that. But yeah, and even the sequel that we got this year, Across the Spider-Verse, which I have seen a couple of times now, about 3 times. Again, I think it is a worthy sequel to this. I'm in 2 minds as to say whether it's better or not. I don't know. It obviously leaves us with the Empire Strikes Back kind of reveal and ending that it does. It's a wonderful film, and this is a wonderful film. And I will honestly, I will hands up put this as my favourite animated film of all time. I never thought, you know, as a comic book fan, getting this, living this film. When I came out of the cinema, I was just blown away. I just was. I really was. It was so cleverly done. I mean, you've got Peter B. Parker when he meets Miles Morales. These 2 characters are drawn at different frame rates. They work at different frame rates in the film, and it isn't until they start swinging, getting away from Lady Octopus Woman, that the frame rate when Miles Morales gets the knack of the swinging, only then do their frame rates become the same. It was so clever. It really was. Amazing movie. So there we go. That's my talk about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, my favourite animated movie. Well, there we go. I was looking forward to that one. Could you tell? You probably could. Anyway, so let me know down below in the comments, do you have a favourite movie? Animated movie? Let me hear all about it below. Is it something I've seen? Is it something I haven't seen? Is it something I would agree on you with? Is it something I would disagree on? Something that I'd turn around and say, no, that's not for me. You know, great that you like it, but it didn't really work for me. You know, I like having them conversations. But yeah, and also tomorrow I will be back. Of course I will be back with this question.